Welcome back to Health Corner. Gail Sheehy is the author of 15 books, including a biography of Hillary Clinton. She is a keen observer of shifting women's roles over the past 2 decades. And she has a lot to say about our futures. Here's my recent conversation with Gail. Gail, it was 1976. Over 30 years ago that you came out with Passages, and every now and then a book comes along that has such a tremendous impact. It's like, who hasn't read it? Why do you think that had such a huge impact on people, on our society?
I think one reason, Joan, was that up until then there was only one life cycle. It was the male life cycle. And we, as women, had to try to follow that, which was impossible because we couldn't give up having children until we were 40 because we didn't have the reproductive revolution. So we couldn't follow that career path. And we didn't want to.
It's so, when you think about it, it's so completely different than men, because men go on that absolute self-prescribed route. Have those stages that were so finely laid out for us, have they changed? Have almost like the earth changes as all these forces have come about?
Women take longer now. It's much more common not to marry until the early 30s, not to have a child until mid-30s, and even much later. We have to do more in middle life than we ever have before. But you know what? We're much better at it in middle life. We know much better how to multitask emotional tasks as well as, work tasks.
What do you hope that we all say to our daughters so that they realize how far we've come in 30 years since you wrote Passages?
We just have to keep on saying to them, whatever you like to do or think you might be good at, try it. As bizarre as it is, be a pilot. You may want to be a medic. You might want to go to medical school and become an Air Force medical pilot. Now women can do things in the military, all kinds of jobs in the military that aren't just frontline artillery, that are exciting and wonderful jobs.
What do you think is the biggest myth about women that just won't go away?
That we're too emotional, and we can't, hold up our end when chaos comes down the line. And actually, women, I think, have a 360-degree brain power. Our brains are actually formed so that we can see all the way around. So I think when you understand that women have this 360-degree capacity to understand and intuit what's going on around them, women are extremely valuable in making quick and accurate calculations about how to handle emergency situations now.
What do you think women should be the most proud of in looking at our development over the past 2 decades that we can really examine?
Well, this may sound odd, but I have to say, I am so proud of how great women look in their 50s and 60s and 70s, and women who are doing things in the world. They still look terrific, and they care about looking good, and that's good. And yet they're in leadership roles, they're in, brilliant artistic roles, entertainment roles, helping roles, and political roles, but they still manage to look great.
That's because we're learning to take care of ourselves and stay engaged in life.
Engaged in life, and we learn about health because we have to for our families, and we apply it to ourselves.
Always a pleasure to talk to you, Gail. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joan.